AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Everyone, listen up, man. Factormeals.com/ABTV50. Factormeals.com/ABTV50. You go there, you get 50% off to start with, making meal planning easy again. That is the goal. You get a variety to choose from to prep your meals on a daily basis. You get 20% off on the second month when you continue to subscribe to Factor Meals. Again, factormeals.com/ABTV50. You know, Duke alum, Lenzel Graham's favorite university. Nah, Lenzel kill me. Yeah, Grant Hill, who went to North Carolina. Shout out to Turbo, pointed out Grant Hill got major MVP votes in 1998. Was an all-star as a rookie. He's pretty much one of those guys who he was showing you in the 90s, man, like, hey, there's this wave of athlete. People, in my opinion, you know, basketball was being revolutionized. And I thought these were the guys that were finally on the court, showing you it's been around. A lot of these skills and talent were suppressed because of the rules and because of many other things, if you want to call it classism, racism, whatever, in the 70s and 60s. By the time the 80s and 90s came around, there was so much money with the NBA. Michael Jordan changed things that there were a lot of players like Grant Hill type that were around in the parks and that didn't make it. We heard myths and legends about people, and Grant Hill was that in college. I remember his name just being a pup. I was never too tight into college ball, but fast forward, you know, he got a bunch of devastating injuries. Him and Penny Hardaway, I believe I wrote an article on them saying how Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill's injuries changed the NBA forever. I thought the NBA really got desperate and sold themselves short looking for the next Michael Jordan, and they changed the rules up because they never wanted another Shaq out there to devour the rating. Like, they really were worried about the ratings dropping because of the post Michael Jordan, you know, hangover, and they didn't give, to me, any confidence to the next crop of players that would have included, you know, a Grant Hill and a Penny Hardaway. Like, Kobe Bryant wasn't even he wasn't what Grant Hill was rookie year. Not talent-wise. He definitely wasn't talent-wise. He was a baby. He was 17 years old, a real 17-year-old. Grant Hill was a grown man, a fila deal. His marketing was insane. He went to Duke University. There was a lot about him that was just crazy. Penny Hardaway, same thing. He went to Memphis, not as much of a well-known school, but he came in and his game was everything. Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill were super duper stars rookie season. Kobe really wasn't that. He went to the Lakers, that helped him. Dunk contest, that helped him. Went out with Brandy and everything, that helped him. But it wasn't quite Grant Hill. So for me, continuing to fast forward, Grant Hill gets a devastating injury, prolongs his career over there or extends his career with the Phoenix Suns. He shows you how the Phoenix Suns can really break down the game for you, and especially for an aging guy. But now he's been through a lot, and he's running the Olympic team. And I don't know what the hell is going on. But shout out to AM Hoops. If you flag my channel, you could definitely go to hell. And I'll just screen record it next time and just put the subtitles if you want. You got enough money over there on YouTube, AM Hoops. Yeah, I'm leaning on you a little bit. Shout out to AM Hoops. He broke down the Kawhi Leonard situation over there at the Olympics and why Kawhi Leonard got sent home. AM Hoops is legit. This guy is amazing. He used to work for the NBA, reporting for the NBA. And now I just watch him on his channel because he's just doing this thing. What the hell are they doing on my screen? Here we go. Make sure I bookmark that.
Kawhi played all 4 practices and scrimmages leading up to the Olympics. Said he felt great. His coaches agreed. Then suddenly, Team USA pulled him from the roster. They said Kawhi respects that USA Basketball and the Clippers determined it's in his best interest to spend the remainder of the summer preparing for the upcoming season rather than participating in the Olympic Games in Paris. Oh, so his knee must have flared up. Are we sure about that? Why not mention that in your statement? Also, Kevin Durant got hurt, even worse. He didn't even touch a basketball while Kawhi was playing. He got to stay. Oh, and by the way, the Clippers came out and said, Team USA is lying. This was not a joint decision. We wanted Kawhi to play. So somebody is not telling the truth. And we are finally getting some answers. I mean, it was a controversy when Kawhi said he wanted to play. How could a guy who didn't even finish the NBA season play extra games?
Hell no. There's no way.
Well, there are two.
See, that's crazy for me because I didn't really think about Kevin Durant being hurt. And when they sent him home, I'm thinking like, he's Kawhi. He always gets hurt. Why would you want to be out there? Number one, why are you out there? Especially after you said, I'm not playing, you didn't play in the playoffs, bro. You look nuts. So when they sent him home, I really didn't think much of it because the Jaylen Brown thing immediately took so much coverage. And maybe Grant Hill was happy about that on the low. Maybe he was happy. Everybody's arguing about, Jaylen Brown and Derrick White. Or maybe not so much.
Two reasons for this. First, it was a full 3 months between Kawhi's last game and the Olympics. Plenty of time for him to heal up. Second, Paris is special. Several guys wanted to compete for the first time, like Stephen Curry. LeBron missed 2016 and 2020, but came back for Paris. So Kawhi wanted to play. Plus, it's low lift. I mean, you play like 20 minutes, you put up 12 points. So he showed up to camp, said all the right things, but 2 weeks before the games got cut. Team USA says it was a decision made with the Clippers. Kawhi understands, but then the Clippers front office hit back. It was USA Basketball's call, and I was, quite frankly, very disappointed with the decision. Kawhi wanted to play. We wanted him to play. There was no setback with his knee. What? They are saying it is a total lie. So
hold up. And that's what I mean by Mr. Prestigious Grant Hill. What the hell were you doing? I haven't heard you clap back at the Clippers since. You said you worked with the Clippers to send Kawhi Leonard home. And Lawrence Frank came out. Lawrence Frank, who's my height, 5'7". He came out and said, shout out to the little crew. Because, Flea be big enough to big Flea, never the little one. We're the little ones over here, baby. What did Ghostface say? Got the strength of 30,000 midgets. Yo, Lawrence Frank really, they threw the kibosh on Grant Hill right there, man. Think about that, bro. He came out and said, yo, man, I don't know what Grant Hill's talking about. We ain't talked to him. We wanted Kawhi to play in the Olympics, which sounds weird to me as well. Why are you endorsing that? The whole thing is a mess. The whole thing is a mess. The fact that going left here, the fact that Isaiah Thomas is still beefing with Michael Jordan proves that we as humans, we're just a bunch of petty mother lovers, man. All of us. All that they talk when we're kids, they're telling you what not to do, but they all practicing it. I don't care which religious book they be thumping. They're all full of it. We're all in flesh, my brother. These guys be talking the most caca. Hold, he was going on, baby. I'm glad you in here too. Grant Hill is stiff, has no soul. I can see right through him, man. Remember, he's a part of the Atlanta Hawks as well. And then it doesn't escape me. Here's some more information about this, though, about Kawhi Leonard. Because this is crazy, bro.
Reporters asked head of USA Basketball, Grant Hill, and it got even more suspicious.
We just felt that we had to pivot, and not to get into the particulars, in terms of what went into the decision, but unfortunately, we have to move forward.
The way that you are framing this, it makes it sound like you guys sent him home.
No, I mean we did. I mean, ultimately he was sent home, but we were in conversation with the Clippers on that.
So that is not true. And I don't want to get into the particulars of the decision. What particulars? I mean, if it's just his knee, that seems pretty clear. Particular, he is dancing around the truth. So to replace Kawhi, they go with Derek White. A huge shock because Finals MVP Jaylen Brown is just sitting right there waiting on the call, which brought up the first theory on what really happened. Jaylen immediately tweeted, "Hey Nike, is this what we're doing?" And you might have already heard this theory, but the way that it connects with Kawhi now is crazy. So Nike has a big influence over Team USA as a key sponsor. Not only is Derek White a Nike athlete, Jaylen is not, but Jaylen has beef with them. In 2022, Nike dropped Kyrie after all of his controversy, and Brown said, "Since when does Nike care about ethics?" And whenever he wears Nikes on the court, he physically removes the swoosh. Kawhi is also not a Nike athlete, but he used to be. Kawhi
Yo, these guys are grown men. They're grown men. Yo, they're so petty, bro. I'm gonna cross out the swoosh, but you're still wearing them, you jerk. What a jerk. You want all the kids to buy the Nikes and cross out the swoosh too? What the hell is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with y'all, man? Yo, we live in a real crazy world, man. Nike's losing billions. Yeah, but now look, they're putting on their ultimate performance. They were at an all-time high after the pandemic. I think they really they made a mistake with letting the third-party guys snatch up their kicks, man. Nike is like a music label. They never figured out, like, you know, the third-party guys like StockX and all in the auction for sneakers. That whole second market became like what streaming was to music, if you think about it, because Nike was, you know, universal. They were able to sell the CDs and they made billions with that. But all of a sudden, the internet came around and changed everything. And Nike's still billion. You know, they might be losing billions, but in equity. But we just don't see another premier brand coming around and doing what they do. You know, Phil Knight and them guys are older too now. I think Phil Knight, if I'm not mistaken, either Lenzel Graham or someone in the comments said Phil Knight is now focused on Oregon because he's a Oregon alum or Oregon University alum. So if he's distracted that way, we're stopping him from saying, "Yo, let's sell this thing, man. Let's sell this to Amazon or something like that." Like, imagine if Nike said, "You know, we're gonna go sell 50% of the company to Amazon," and now you could forget the second market because Amazon is the first and second market, and Amazon will manipulate everything. They'll X everybody out. Amazon, I don't know if you guys know about the Wi-Fi system in your house. They have like the Wi-Fi extender system, the Echo, where even if you have what's the when you talk to the Amazon thing, that little, not Hey Siri, what the hell is Amazon's name? I forgot. But they have the thing you talk to and it talks back, and you can search things when you talk into it. All that stuff is reading all information. They got the microphone on. They know what you're ordering on Amazon. They know all your ordering habits. So we're stopping them from selling half the Alexa, right? What's stopping Alexa from Amazon taking all your Nike orders and just selling everything? Like they could sell everything on there and make it Nike, and it's a wrap. I know that they're the high-end brand, but they can sell you high-end stuff on there and have a high-end section. And they could just sell other clothing under Nike, but the lower brand, which is what Nike's actually working on, because they saw that was working for other brands. They just dropped the price for Air Force Ones, which was crazy. Growing up, Air Force Ones was like $50. After Nelly comes out with the Air Force One, so I should jump to $100. I said, yo, I wasn't even a big uptown guy like that anyway. The uptown in New York, we call the Air Force Ones uptowns, because I guess I ain't know growing up, Harlem made it famous, but we just call them uptowns. But once uptowns went for $100, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Right? And the Penny Hardaways, all that stuff. So imagine if Nike sells half of their company or a quarter of their company to Amazon because of what's going on right now. You can't command the second market the way that you do. All these secondary auctionary companies like StockX have a lot of control. And it's not even StockX. Look at PayPal. You can sell Nikes right now if you want to. If I got a pair of Nikes, like, yo, who wants, I got these Jordan 6s or whatever the hell it is. I'll show you a picture of it right now. And we can start a market right now if we want to and get big on YouTube. You could do that. And Nike has a bunch of those guys that they're up against. So This is all in play now. And them being so desperate, my guy AM Hoops here, he's gonna get into more of Nike's position on this.
Kawhi was on Jordan brand back in the day, but he switched to New Balance in 2018. And while making new designs, Nike sent him a cease and desist over the Kawhi Claw logo. Because Kawhi had designed it himself, he figured, oh, I own this. But Nike had copyrighted it 1 year earlier. So Kawhi sued them. And here are the actual images used in court. On the left is a drawing Kawhi made in college. And I know this is hilarious, but I do get Kawhi's point, right? I mean, the idea is his hand stylized with his initials. Nike just made it look more aesthetic. But guess what? The judge ruled against Kawhi and said that Nike had full ownership over the logo. So because of this beef, people said, Kawhi's out, KD is in. One wears Nike, the other wears New Balance. Simple as that. But that's not true. If Nike actually cared that much, they would have blocked him from making the roster to begin with. Another theory is the Clippers did make this happen. Sure, they deny it because they don't want to piss Kawhi off, but LA is moving into their new stadium next year. It is on Kawhi to get them to the playoffs, especially without Paul George. But I don't think that the front office would have pushed back that hard. I mean, dude basically called Grant Hill a liar and made it into a much bigger deal than it had to be. Why would he risk that?
They called him a liar. Hey, Grant, you are a liar. Grant Hill, you were a liar. He came out. Look at the way he came out. Like, yo, you know, we sent him home and he was stuttering over himself, but he's so prepared. Grant Hill even talks about in his book how timid he was as a kid, not related to it because, you know, I was in a bubble as a kid, and you always think about what other people feel about you. And I still think about what other people think. Like, maybe I say, I don't care what other people think. I don't think it's about that. It's about just communication. You know, people in the comments, sometimes they go crazy, but you got to let them go crazy because they just want to be heard too. That's your version of what's going on video. So to be able to communicate yourself is excellent. And to you know, transition from just stuttering and timidity. And then he's in college speaking on going to speech classes and just going through this transformation. And you see how Grant Hill speaks now, where he tap dancing his way out of the whole Jaylen Brown got sent home because of Nike, not because of the Clippers, because the Clippers are denying it. And that's just stupid, bro. The Jaylen Brown thing was dumb. Then you got Derek White in there and the Kawhi thing. And they're winning games, and LeBron holding the flag is going to catch all the attention. And if they beat Sudan by 20, they got their name back a little bit. They should have blew them out by 40. If you wanted your name back, that's what the dream team would have done.
I mean, all Grant would have to do is show the receipts of them making the decision together and they get exposed. But what about LeBron James? For years, Team USA goes to their players for advice. And in the past, Kobe was the leader of Team USA. In Tokyo, it was KD. But LeBron put this team together. They 100% went to LeBron about this to ask about Kawhi. For example, in 1992, NBA players went to the Olympics except Isaiah Thomas. Magic Johnson said nobody on that team wanted to play with Isaiah. If you went strictly on terms of ability, then Isaiah should have been chosen. But who is saying we need this guy? Nobody. Michael Jordan got singled out as the guy who kept Isaiah off, but that really isn't fair. It was everybody. We all understood the camaraderie wouldn't be the same. Does that not sound exactly like Kawhi? Who is saying, do we need this guy? Obviously they don't. How many number one options can they have on this team? They have KD, they have Steph, and we all know last minute of a game, it's going to be in LeBron's hands. So instead, when Kawhi's not even good for camaraderie either, we all know that, they said, let's get a role player in here to balance things out. And all you have to do is look at Grant Hill's later comments to The Athletic. The responsibility I have is to put together a team, and a team that complements each other, a team that fits, a team that will give us the best opportunity for success at no.
Look at Grant Hill's face. Oh, yeah, you sneaky, petty ass smile, man. Yo, Grant, man, you ain't fooling us, bro. Is Grant Hill with Nike? He got the Fila ties, right? But it's big business, like you said, Jorge. Fabe, all those companies are in cahoots. One time I looked up camping gear on Google, and I started getting offers on Facebook, YouTube, and even emails of that stuff. Well, Google, if I'm not mistaken, they set the tone for all of this, right? Well, Yahoo did. I want to say Yahoo did in the late 90s. Don't quote me. I'm not an expert at all this, but I have a little generic information. And, you know, Google wanted to be bought by Yahoo, but Yahoo didn't didn't buy them. And of course, Google became the verb. It became the adjective, right? For searching. We don't search for something on YouTube, we Google it. So they're the ones in your emails. You have a Gmail account. They'll post something on the side of your email because they're selling all your information and they store it for years. They say they store it for 7 years, but that's a lie. Who's stopping them from storing it? There's no real governing third party over Google's information. So, and Google is YouTube, right? Google is Alphabet. That's the Alphabet company, not the Alphabet Boys, but they are somewhat like the Alphabet Boys. That's who these tech companies are. And for me, they're all in cahoots, meaning Nike, LeBron, Grant Hill, obviously in play. Steve Kerr can do but so much. He's only the coach. But I'm pretty sure he has some input. But I think the ultimate input has to come from LeBron because he's the guy who's setting the tone, saying like, yo, Kawhi, I mean, he's great and all, but, and then it gives more credence to what everybody's talking about with Jaylen Brown when Stephen A. Smith said, yo, he's not a marketable person, right? That's the word he's getting. That wasn't Stephen A.'s quote. That was somebody else's quote, and he was he was doing his job. Look, Stephen A., I'm giving you props. Stop bitching and moaning, bro. People give you your props for doing the job. They shouldn't have came at you that hard about it, but, I mean, we did too, but we're going to do our content creator shit too. But the point is, he's reporting Jaylen Brown is not marketable. And there's something to him where he's just, he goes against the grain. He's not the guy that's going to go hand in hand with everybody, and he gets into being the vice president since he was 21 years old for the union, the union for the NBA, the MVPA. So the vice president of the players union, the finals MVP, the Eastern Conference MVP, world champion. You don't invite him to the Olympics? You're trying to grow the game and you don't show off the new kid and let me tell you something. All these girls be going crazy over Jaylen Brown. I don't see as much Jason Tatum love as I do Jaylen Brown. Jesus Christ. They be like, I see a lot of Jaylen Brown love. So you don't have him at the Olympics? You can't argue against Derek White's, ability. Two-way player. He's amazing. That little move, that little matador move that Derek White be doing, let you go to the basket and smack your shot out of bounds or back in play. Derek White is amazing, but come on now, it's not even comparable to Jaylen Brown. Derek White wasn't going to be the finals MVP, Eastern Conference MVP. A little bit of this is Jaylen Brown also got to get a hold of himself because keeping it real can go wrong. At some point, Jason Tatum comes off very sensitive. He made a comment the other day about, I was humbled the other day. I'm in the finals. I'm a champion, and I was benched. I didn't even play. Shut up, Jason Tatum. You in the Olympics. They ain't even let your man on the team, and you ain't say nothing. What humbled? You should have been humbled then. You should have held your man down. Like, yo, it's unfortunate he couldn't be here. That's crazy. But it's big business. I would have kept it moving. There's no harm in saying that. There's no way you don't have the top two players on the NBA champions on this squad and have LeBron run everything. Yeah, LeBron is a bigger name, but there is a reason why you're suppressing Jaylen Brown's name because he's anti, he's the anti-hero. It's just who he is. And he's going to play into it. Hopefully he goes independent. Hopefully he goes his own route and really get something started. LeVar Ball kind of started a lot of this when he was independent with his children, boosted them up. They got two of them made it to the NBA, wanted to sell his own sneaker, go outside of Nike, and which apparently turned into a real debacle. But Jaylen Brown has a lot of money, and he's always on this like righteous path. And that's why I was surprising when they call him talking about Bronny James and all that, which is okay. And I thought people thought he was his tone changed when he tweeted out correcting himself over Bronny James was not an NBA player, but I don't think he ever corrected that. He never said Bronny James was an NBA player. Even in the tweet, he said, I'm rooting for him and his growth and all that. And he has all the pieces in play to grow. To me, Jaylen Brown was basically saying bro. You ain't got no excuses but to be the most potential that you have. You have no choice but to fulfill it, bro. No excuses. You know, just think about a player of Jaylen Brown's stature who would have had the access to that LeBron gave his son. Imagine if Jaylen Brown had that at 17, 18. He was the number 3 draft pick. What kind of draft pick would he have been? What kind of hype would he have gotten if he got to the NBA and he was LeBron's son? Would he have gone against Nike back then if he had the same access that LeBron granted Bronny James? You know, that's why I think Jaylen Brown, you treading on some ice here, bro, because you're going against not just one establishment, you're going against a bunch of them, the NBA, Nike, the Olympics, you know, and I'm not gonna say I empathize with him. I'm saying let's be calculated about this. Very smart guy. He could have went to MIT. He could have went to anywhere. He apparently can fly a spaceship. This guy's the most interesting man in the world, by the way. The most interesting man in the world, Jaylen Brown. That's all everybody talks about him. So when Stephen A. concurred and doubled down on he's not marketable, it's like, I mean, it's hard to be marketable when you're that kind of anti guy. When Kyrie started doing it, I don't think the one thing I always said about Kyrie, though, and this is why I got to give Jaylen Brown all his props, all of them. When Kyrie was going through all that flat earth and everything, he started becoming timid. He started getting defensive. He started getting really bitter and nah, man. You came out and said the earth was flat, bro. Explain yourself. Nah, man. You tweeted that thing about the Jew crew. You tweeted that. Yeah, you ain't know what had that in there, whatever the case may be. Okay, cool. You trying to protect, the background to being pro-black and everything. Okay, cool. So you say that. That's what Jaylen Brown is doing. So I gotta give him his props. He's coming out in the face of everybody, and he's going, "Yo, I don't care what they talking about. Yo, Grant Hill, you what's up? Yo, Nike, what's up?" Jaylen Brown is the eloquent 50 Cent. I can't say eloquent because 50 could talk, man. 50 could talk. But he's the, how can we say? Jaylen Brown is the 50 Cent with the teacup, like that. Let's finish this video.
Complements each other. A team that fits, a team that will give us the best opportunity for success. At no point does he mention Kawhi's knee, and he can't because the Kevin Durant injury would make it seem so hypocritical. I mean, why would he go to Paris? Because of politics. KD has a chance to win 4 gold medals, which would be a record for men's basketball. He's also USA's all-time leading scorer. And last Olympics, no stars wanted to go to Tokyo, but KD stepped up and won gold. And obviously, keeping KD was the right move. I mean, dude was amazing against Serbia in Game 1. But his calf strain was the same injury that caused an Achilles tear on the Warriors. Why let that slide but not Kawhi? Well, Gilbert Arenas says, because of all of this evidence, no one's going to say it out loud, but we know what really happened with Kawhi.
Grant Hill's, when his speech basically said he got cut.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like Kawhi decided to leave and he gonna get, it sounded like, yeah, we decided we were gonna go in a different way.
Right.
Means
he's not a good fit.
He's not a good fit.
And Kawhi didn't have the relationships to overcome that. If this was about injuries, Kevin Durant would not be there. But he has spent years making friends with players off the court. He was on USA Basketball. Kawhi is more of a loner. He's like that guy on the team bus who's really talented, but doesn't really hang out with anybody.
So to your point, nostalgic is all politics. It's all politics. Kevin Durant is the ultimate. That's why I started another guy. LeBron comes out. I'm gonna sound like a LeBron hater because AllBall hates him. Lenzel hates him. But it's the things about LeBron I don't like, bro. You pushing his crybaby era, and you pussyfoot with the politics, and Kevin Durant followed suit. Kevin Durant was loved by the media 15 years ago, 12 years ago, before he won the MVP. And all of a sudden he turned and was like on some, like, nobody did nothing to Kevin Durant. Any criticism he faced, I don't even remember it. He just didn't like Skip Bayless calling him out saying, Westbrook's the real alpha, and people started just echoing that. And he didn't like that, bro. You don't like the truth. You let Draymond call you a B, bro. Period. You're supposed to get it on after that. Or get him off the team. That's getting however way you see fit. You're supposed to stop being so sensitive, man. He's still commenting on people. He's going at Keyshawn Johnson. Kevin Durant, 7 foot baby, bro. But it's all politics. But they all get along because they all probably just coddle each other like this. That's why Jason Tatum came out and said, "Yo, I was humbled the other day because they're clear. You didn't know LeBron ran this thing. That's when you should have been humble. Oh man, LeBron is the." They have 4 or 5 players voting LeBron the best player on the team, and you just were in the NBA Finals. You lost the Finals MVP to Jaylen Brown. You kidding me? Tatum, if this doesn't show you, like this is what I'm saying. Jason Tatum, in my opinion, should be the best player in the NBA. I don't like AllBall the other day talked about, yo, if T-Mac would have got championships with Tim Duncan and Grant Hill, we'd be talking about him differently. No, the hell we wouldn't. I wouldn't. Jason Tatum is still in that category for me. You passive aggressive, and you lucky you got a squad, bro. Because if it was you, just you leading it, I don't think they're gonna be. Nah. This mentality is why you're not the best player in the game, Jason Tatum. And how Jaylen Brown, who I don't know who's more talented, but I gotta say Jason Tatum is more talented, just naturally more talented. I don't like this mentality, man. I hate it. Kevin Durant is a big baby. Politicking with the whole crew. That's how you stay on the Olympics. What a jerk.
So when they asked players like LeBron, nobody fought for Kawhi Leonard. It's sad, but USA basketball has always been political, and they used his knee as an excuse to get Derek White, the role player that they actually needed. But we have already wrapped up another tournament this summer with the new NBA draft.
Yeah, man. Tap into AM Hoops. He got a bunch of videos like that if you like it. I love AM Hoops. He broke down Alex Sarr's game. He breaks down a whole bunch of stuff. He broke down the Knicks when OG Anunoby left Clutch and went to CAA. He was like, bro, he's going to the Knicks. And, I wasn't at the time. I wasn't paying attention. You got a bunch of stuff going on, but when he posted the video, I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. So shout out to AM Hoops, man. He's amazing, bro. He's just amazing. Yo, Fabe, you think he won Finals MVP to make it look like they're not picking on him? No, I don't think they're trying to give him empathy like that. I think it's the other way. I think they're trying to break the Celtics up because they don't want a dynasty. They don't want a dynasty. They want the Shaq and Kobe thing going on. I don't think the NBA really wanted Shaq and Kobe together, in my opinion, because neither one of them are Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like the Celtics, neither one of them. Yo, they had a ratings low in the finals, and we know all the records with Michael Jordan and NBC. Remember, NBC is coming back. NBC is doing really well with the Olympic ratings. We read that out the other day. They're going crazy with the ratings right now. NBC, and this is through the streaming. This is all a promo for NBC, Peacock, and all whatever the hell the streaming services, Amazon. They're trying to get us locked into that so that we're gonna go into the new era with a soap opera. They'd rather have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum on 2 different teams that have a competitive chance night in, night out. Not a competitive chance to win a championship, but at least a competitive chance to win any game. And that's what they wanted in the 90s as well with Michael Jordan. But now we have a talent pool that's worldwide, as opposed to just, constrained to the US. So I think that there's a real rift. And even if they don't want Jason Tatum broken up off the Celtics, I really believe they're pushing for them to argue. I think they want a Shaq and Kobe situation, which is why if you think about it, Shaq came out when Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown was on his show, and he was trying to tell him, yo, don't do what we did. He was trying to do it like on some Star Wars Jedi mind trick, but Jaylen Brown was like, what are you talking about? And maybe he's meaning like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't feed into that dumb shit like you. You big dummy. You fake cop. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.